The United States has signed a landmark agreement to help Saudi Arabia establish a civilian nuclear program, insisting the deal contains safeguards against the spread of nuclear weapons. The agreement was announced on Wednesday as Washington remains at war with Iran, a conflict driven in large part by concerns over Tehran's nuclear program. US Energy Secretary Chris Wright and his Saudi counterpart, Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, signed two documents. One covers peaceful nuclear cooperation, the other establishes bilateral safeguards. The US Energy Department said the agreements create the legal foundation for a decades-long partnership worth billions of dollars. It said the arrangement would advance economic and strategic objectives, including nuclear non-proliferation. But the full text has not been released, leaving a crucial question unanswered. Will Saudi Arabia be allowed to enrich uranium on its own soil? The Wall Street Journal reported that the agreement could allow US companies to build a uranium enrichment facility in the kingdom. The Energy Department did not mention such a provision in its announcement and declined to comment when asked by AFP. Uranium enrichment can be used to produce fuel for nuclear power stations, but at higher levels, the same technology can generate material for nuclear weapons. Saudi Arabia has long asserted its right to develop a civilian nuclear program. However, lawmakers from both major US parties and Israeli officials have warned that domestic enrichment could eventually give Riyadh the capability to build a bomb. Those concerns have grown amid fears that Iran's nuclear ambitions could trigger an arms race across the Gulf. The United Arab Emirates signed a civilian nuclear agreement with Washington in 2009, but agreed not to enrich uranium or reprocess spent nuclear fuel domestically. Its Barakah plant remains the Arab world's only operational nuclear power facility. The Saudi agreement was signed under Section 123 of the U.S. Atomic Energy Act, which governs American nuclear cooperation with other countries. It will now be submitted to Congress for review. However, the Republican-controlled legislature is considered unlikely to block it. Energy Secretary Wright dismissed proliferation concerns, saying the agreements uphold what he called the highest standards of nuclear safety and non-proliferation. Some experts argue that the deal could strengthen Washington's position in its strategic competition with China and Russia. Saudi Arabia has made clear that it intends to develop nuclear energy. The question was whether it would acquire the technology from the United States and its allies, or turn to Beijing or Moscow. But critics warn that allowing enrichment inside the kingdom could weaken the non-proliferation standards Washington has applied elsewhere. The deal also marks a shift in the broader US strategy towards Saudi Arabia. Washington had previously sought to link nuclear cooperation to a wider agreement involving Saudi recognition of Israel and a formal US-Saudi defense pact. Saudi Arabia instead signed a mutual defense agreement with Pakistan in September 2025.